Well, now that the new academic year has begun, there are lessons to be learned. And one of the most important lessons is budgeting. How do you budget? What are your priorities? Do your realistic needs far exceed your ability to afford them? Well, live in studio tonight is Khalil Brathwaite of Leno Corporate Services to help plant the seed to better balance your budget. Good evening, Mr. Brathwaite.
Good evening.
First of all, sir, how should parents, especially single mothers, set a budget?
I think the first step is to do a self-assessment of your current spending habits and try to identify your wants and needs and find out where your money is really going first and foremost.
So how does one keep realistic goals?
I think the trick to achieving realistic goals is to make sure that they're reachable. A lot of times we want to do big goals or medium goals, but the path to victory really starts with small goals that feed into medium goals, that feed into bigger goals. So if you want to save an annual amount at the end of the year, start by thinking, what can I save weekly or monthly to get me to that amount?
So, Mr. Brathwaite, what can individuals do then to supplement those needs or those goals?
Well, again, it really starts with the self-assessment and identifying what you need to do in terms of a trade-off. A lot of times we confuse things like price versus value. We overlap things like needs versus wants. So when you do this self-assessment and really drill down, do I actually need this? Is this adding value to my life? Is this contributing to my stability? Would I be better off with a trade-off by saving today and spending tomorrow? So again, it does a self-assessment of your current spending habits and really identifying where you want to go and working towards that.
Now, how can children impact parents when they're budgeting? Do they help in any way?
Well, naturally, children are little sponges. They absorb everything, and they study the patterns and particular habits of their parents. So if they see their parents saving or being mindful of money, that skill would tend to pass on, because the conversation on why, daddy, why, mommy, why are you making this decision? And those kind of conversations shape the mentality and temper the expectation of what money is to a family and what it could be done to advancing that family. So I think children observe by watching patterns and practicing the habits that they observe from their parents.
Now, one more question. What I understand is that a lot of Bahamians really don't budget. Is this true?
Yes, this is true. It's kind of like the no financial plan is a financial plan. So those people who don't budget, well, they're just spending. And that's okay. But the goal to really stabilize your tomorrow is taking actions today. And even though we can have a non-budget budget, as we achieve or come closer to life goals and milestones, having a budget not only empowers us with the knowledge to achieve that goal, but prepares us and tempers down what we need to do to actually work towards that objective.
Great information. That was Khalil Brathwaite. He's the Business Development Manager at Leno Corporate Services. Thanks for joining us on National Report.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has partnered with the company 5 Star Brokers Limited to assist persons who have experienced hurricane damage. NEMA officials are required to coordinate recovery and restoration efforts across the country, and the brokerage company has more than 45 years of experience in the industry. Officials at 5 Star Brokers say they are proud to partner with NEMA. According to the IDB, from the year 2015 to 2017, hurricane damages cost the Bahamas an estimated $678 million. In other business news, the Bahamas International Securities Exchange, BIZX, announced the completion of shares for the open-ended mutual fund, FitPar Dynamic Allocational Professional Fund Limited. Officials at BIZX say they are pleased with the addition of the fund and noted that they had experienced growth in funds listed and in the value of assets under management. And in international business news, Facebook is spending $1 billion to open a new data center in Singapore. The 1.8 million square foot facility will be the billion-dollar company's first Asia branch. Singapore was selected for several reasons, including the city's quality of infrastructure, workforce, and business-friendly environment. This move is also projected to provide hundreds of jobs in the city. Facebook already has data centers across the U.S. and Europe, and it is expected that this will will only be the first of a number of centers in the Asia region. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Tourism officials are looking to boost the industry. That's why the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation has partnered with the Bahamas Development Bank to host Tourism Money Never Done, a 2-day workshop to be held September 13th through 14th at British Colonial Hilton, aimed at encouraging budding entrepreneurs in the country's #1 industry.
People are looking for new opportunities. I think we are trying to get a situation where we want more Bahamians to think about working for themselves. Things are very fickle at the moment with people losing their jobs, etc. And all is not lost. They just need an opportunity. They need to test their ideas and to see what's out there and available that they can take advantage of.
Ms. Johnson said this is only the beginning for the workshop, as officials plan to take it throughout the Family Islands.
We are restricted in terms of the numbers. We're only going to take 50 people in this first one, but there'll be opportunities for us to do more. And based on the amount of calls that we've had, and it hasn't even hit the papers yet in terms of advertising, I think it's going to be a great success.
Officials say up to $50,000 is available for participants who impress at the workshop. The cost of registration is $100. For more information, contact the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation at 302-2000. I'm Kendia Smith, and this is Tourism Today.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, and anytime, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
Exhale, exhale. Now you're home. Now you're home. You can have your peace of mind. Oh, it's family time. We pay attention to the smallest details. Safety and security, we deliver luxury. Serenity. Welcome home.
Thanks so much for staying with us, especially those of